Hey guys, it's me again with a new I Am Fun Size for you. So today I'm going to answer a question about motivation. Someone wrote in with a very interesting question, I thought, asking about what are good sources of motivation as an artist. This particular person is an artist about to embark on a career as an artist. He's just graduating school. And he said that he's having trouble not with inspiration or figuring out what he wants to create, but with the motivation to continue doing the things that he needs to do to be a successful artist. And I think this applies, as do all of these I Am Fun Size videos, this applies to people in all careers and all walks of life, not just to artists. This gentleman just happens to be an artist. So he was asking about what would be healthy sources of motivation, and this part of the question was interesting to me because, he said, he had historically been using fear as a motivation. Fear of failure, fear of not getting to do the things that he wanted, fear of not achieving a particular thing. That had been his primary motivator up until that point. But he didn't feel like that was sustainable, so what could he do? Well, first of all, let's address fear-based motivation, because I think a lot of us do it. I know I spend probably the first 3/4 of my life doing it, and I can often find myself trying to do it again, and I have to swat that bad tendency away. I personally don't think that fear-based motivation is as effective a form of motivation for all of us, and I have a very specific reason why. In my experience, if I'm using fear to motivate myself to do something, to get somewhere, then once I achieve a level of success at that thing, I need to create more fear in order to motivate myself to do the next thing, which means that I am cultivating fear in myself. I'm cultivating a feeling that I don't want to feel. I did this a lot when I was in school. I was a really good student, but part of the reason I motivated myself with was I thought if I don't get an A, I was a failure. And okay, great, I would get an A, but then I'd think, well, what if I don't get the next A? I must be a failure. And it was self-perpetuating. If the only reason that I was working towards getting an A was fear of failure, I had to constantly be fearing that I was a failure, rather than thinking, I want to get an A because I want to learn. I want to do this because it feels good. I want to do this because it makes me understand the world more, whatever that positive reason might be. And I was just creating more and more fear in the world, and it tired me out. It burnt me out completely. I had to completely shut things down and rewire my brain to kind of start thinking in a different way. So what would that different way be? Because that's really the question that was being asked. What do you do instead of motivating yourself through fear? Well, I can speak as an actress, and I can also speak as a woman on planet Earth. I can give you two different scenarios in my life that exhibit this. One, as an actress, I have found that if I was doing it for extrinsic reasons, if I was doing it for people's validation or people's applause, or if I was doing it for the money, or if I was doing it for reasons that had nothing to do with anything I was in control of experiencing, then it wasn't as satisfying and it wasn't motivating. But if I was doing it for reasons that came from myself, if I was doing it because, and this is why I do it, because it makes me feel something I can't feel anywhere else, a level of accomplishment, a level of exhilaration, a level of connection with the people that I'm performing with and performing for. There is an excitement, there is an energy that I feel from that. From getting to share a journey with people that they might not have been able to go on had they not come to the theater that day, had they not watched that show, had they not experienced that through whatever vessel I'm using to create that piece of work. That intrinsic, that excitement, that joy that I get, that is my biggest motivator, because I want more of that. Every time I get it, it feels so good. I want more of it. I want to create more of it for other people. I want to make myself happy. I want to make other people happy. That, to me, is a great motivator, rather than when I was younger, it was a little more of the extrinsic reasons. I can also apply this to, as I said, as a woman on planet Earth or any person with a physical body. I used to be that way about working out, about fitness. When I was young, when I was growing up, when I was young, because I'm so old now, but when I was younger, I used to motivate myself to work out because I really didn't have a very good body image. I didn't have a good self-image really at all back then. And I used to tell myself awful things about myself in order to make myself do the thing that I thought I needed to do. I would work out tirelessly, just keep working out, keep working out, keep working out. And it might have been doing some good for my body, but I was doing it because I was telling myself all of these awful things about my body and that I had to work out to fix it, rather than doing it for the reasons that I might do it now. I love dancing. I love going dancing. I don't love lifting weights, but I love hiking. I love nothing is as great a workout for me as when I perform. So that's the combination of the two. I love doing it for that intrinsic reason. So if you can find something in your art that is personal to you, that is sustained and created by you, not by someone else, not by someone else's bank account, not by someone else's approval, but if there is something within you that you create, that you feel created when you are making your art. Whether it's the feeling you get when you listen to a song and you can imagine what that looks like on paper or on a screen. Whether it's the excitement you get when you put pen to paper or you're creating on your computer. Sit with yourself for a little while and identify what that feeling is, what that sensation is, what that love of what you're doing really feels like. The more you get in touch with that feeling and the more you can recreate it in your life, the more you're going to want to create more and more of it. That right there, and especially for artists, but I also feel like this is for doctors and lawyers and engineers and anyone who does something because they love it, not because they were told to do it or because of the paycheck or because someone else wanted them to do it. But something that you do because you love it, which I suspect you do, the gentleman who asked me the question, finding that feeling, finding that sense of passion, finding where that sauce comes from, finding where that excitement and fire comes from, and really getting in touch with that feeling and knowing what it is. When you know what it is, you know what you're reaching for, you know what you're working for, you know what is the reason you're going to keep doing it, and that is your motivation. Woo, that was a long video, yo. But yeah, I said yo. I own it. But I hope that helps. If you have any more questions for me, please, please, please send them to me at anjali@iamfunsize.com. I love seeing you guys here and on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram. So find me, send me your questions, send me your thoughts, and thanks for being here. Okay, bye.